Hi, welcome to the Coffee with Lisa podcast. I believe that everyone in business has missing structures and endless possibilities to create new opportunities. The challenge is most don't know how to leverage the relationships for a win-win. I believe that your relationships will make the difference in the results you'll achieve, the impact you will have, and the speed in which you will make opportunities happen. I believe that you can see things through, but you often struggle to see through things. I'll make the invisible visible, the complex simple. Because of these beliefs, I created the Coffee with Lisa podcast and have invited the best experts to join me and share their experiences and knowledge with you so you can move faster and gain a competitive advantage in life and in business.
What you're about to see is when people change their belief system, they change everything.
Sleep.
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 When you act as if you are already that thing that you want to become, magic happens. The suggestions that I give people on stage are no different than the suggestions you're giving yourself at an unconscious level. How is it different in our lives? What are we telling ourselves through our self-talk every day? That's hypnosis. They really want a symphony orchestra tonight. I said, I can help.
I have the hypnotist of the century, and I promise you, he will not hypnotize you and he will not hypnotize me, but it's a packed show of how to really peak your performance in a time where things are a little bit not so, great and crazy. So let's talk a little bit more about the power of a mindset. Wayne Lee is a presenter and entertainer, but more importantly, I think what you need to know about Wayne is he can really help you optimize your performance, your mind, and get you moving forward in a time where we're just not so sure about what's happening. Welcome, Wayne.
Oh, thank you, Lisa, for having me on. This is absolutely awesome. Again, talking before going live here, it's like testing out new waters, forcing yourself into technology, and getting excited about it because it's a time where we can reach out to one another without touching people and doing that online. So I'm very grateful to be on and connect with people that are watching, that get to see it maybe later on. And so, yeah, very grateful.
Thank you. Well, and I'm, we've known each other for a very long time. I was trying to think back at the first time that I met you. It's when you tried to hypnotize me. And it was at a school function of my kids. And I was so mesmerized by your gorgeous looks that I had a hard time concentrating on what you were telling me.
I'm going all red, Lisa.
But I'd like to say that's just because, I'm a bit of a control freak and I don't like to be out of control on anything. But it was a great experience. And it was the first time, we never got really to chance to meet. But then as the years went on, opportunities arose and we got to form a relationship. And I'm so grateful for that relationship. And especially right now, because it's why I wanted you on the Coffee with Lisa show. I think people need to understand the power of your mind. And so let's talk a little bit more about that. What are some of the things, Wayne, that you want to tell people today, if they're watching, about what they should be thinking about?
Well, I think there's a few things that come to mind. First of all, before jumping on, I was thinking, what am I going to share with people and what value am I going to add? And it struck me as that asking those two questions actually got me to focus upon delivering some value and being excited about it, and knowing that some people are going to get some takeaways. So I wanted to really touch on the power of questions.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Questions that people are asking themselves to find the answers that they already have within, but we have opportunities to ask millions and infinite amount of questions to direct our focus. And I'm a big believer in the power of our focus that really creates our results. I have an acronym for focus, which is, it's the foundation of creating unlimited success.
Yep.
And when you start to ask powerful, positive questions, then what tends to happen is internally you have all the resources, call it your subconscious mind, your unconscious, call it spirit, source, God, whatever people want to call that, and that's resonating with them, then they have access to opening up that door. So asking great questions like, what can I do in a time like this?
Yeah.
Maybe layering it with, what can I do in a time like this that's fun, exciting, and that will help others? And when you start asking those questions in a fun way, and in a good state, in a fun state, that's when the magic starts to happen. And people may say, well, look at what's happening out there. I get it. You get it. We all get it. So let's take a moment and just analyze, okay, this is something that maybe we're not controlling out here. But what you can control, and that's a great question, what can I control and have a great time doing it? So I can control my environment in the house, setting it up, because I can only imagine that some people's patterns are completely broken. And what I mean by that is that they work 9 to 5, they're out of the house, they had their kids at school. Now all of that is shifted. So now they have to adapt. They have to get back into what can I do within my house that's going to be productive, that's going to be fun, something like that. So questions like that that really tie it back to creating a better focus.
Absolutely. And if you're watching right now, we've got some people on the stream, you know, pop in the comments some of the things that you're doing. Like this is about community. This is about helping each other. It's not just about Wayne and I sitting here talking back and forth. It's really about creating a community of help and focus and a mindset that really helps everybody move forward. So questions are really great. I think you're right. It's about, you know, people have structure, and some people's personalities are really defined by the structures that they keep. And so when they don't have that structure, they don't know what to do next. It paralyzes them. And how do you move forward?
No, without a doubt. So people have to find things that maybe worked before, that they search for, that says, hey, this worked before, I'm going to put this into play, have some structure, as well as have some flexibility. I'll tell you, my kids upstairs, if I said no iPads for the day, I'd probably go crazy. So kids,
work-life integration.
Yes, yeah, as well as, you know, having some flexibility. That's a really important part of this time. It's an important attitude and adjustment and focus is to have flexibility during these times, because a lot of people will beat themselves up saying, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. I'd seen a video and I laughed at it really hard. It was a lady in Europe, and she did a rant on on, you know, what the kids should be doing, and she was just like, she put herself into a spiral, and she basically said, and people are asking, how are the kids doing? They should be asking, how am I doing? Because of the feeling state of, you know, she's going on this, she's beating herself up. And I'll say, stop beating yourself up, have some flexibility. That brings me to the next point is, how are you feeling? Check in with your feelings. I really believe that people shouldn't be feeling this way, that way, or the other way. They should be absorbing, or at least allowing their feelings to be there. And that's the greatest way to actually redirect your feelings. And why are feelings so important? Because they really are the guidance of where we're at right now in regards to how we're going to be dealing with things. And I'll give you an example, is that when people are feeling good, or a state of relief at least, they are able to take care of themselves better. And in turn, they can, and I did a post on this today before I jumped on LinkedIn, that when people feel better, they can handle things better, they can perform better. And it sounds very simple, but a lot of people get into a negative, fearful state. And so how they can start to embrace that, not fight it, but then ask themselves better questions, focus on positive things, as well as start to check in with your feelings so you feel better. And there's a number of ways to feel better, which I can share on this chat here. But again, if anybody has any questions, I definitely want to make it about them so I can address your question, whatever that is.
And isn't it, you know, Wayne, in your opinion, giving yourself the, how would I say that? Giving yourself permission to be okay with how you're feeling in the moment is how you turn yourself to be more flexible later, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little saying in magic is that if you want to make something disappear, fully embrace it.
Very good. Well, I'm going to start embracing some of my feelings.
No, for sure, because when people fight it, they're actually fighting it and creating more of it, because what you focus upon expands. So be okay with being sad. Be okay with being in a state where you're not okay. What I like to say is go for the feeling of relief.
Yeah. So does being in a hypnotic state, how does that help you release the current feelings that you're in?
Well, it shifts your pattern, it shifts what you're focusing on in the moment, and it gets you to relax your mind, your brain, so you open up to new positive suggestions. I say, relax, reprogram, and recharge. And what I mean by that is that if people can do something to get themselves into a relaxed state, whether it's breathing, going for a run, whether it's an affirmation, all of those are hypnotic tools to get yourself into a state where you can then, focus on something better. And specifically, if you're asking about, hypnosis, lying down, closing your eyes, and getting yourself in that state, that is another technique where people can listen to a program. I've got programs that I've already put out there for free, so people can get themselves to stop the negative noise.
Right. I think now is the perfect time to exactly that, stop the negative noise.
Yeah.
And I think if you're watching this, you have to understand, I've attended a number of your programs now, and one of the things is, yes, you are in entertainment, and it is funny to watch you entertain the crowd. But you do this for corporations for this specific reason, because it does reshift their team mindset, correct?
It does. Yeah, it shifts the mindset so people can deal with those self-limiting beliefs or negative thoughts and snap out of those destructive behaviors. And right. How you do that is not by buying into all the stuff and bombarding yourself with more negative stuff. It's actually to stop and internalize and know that you're the one that's responsible for your state. And your state is really how you're feeling at any given moment, time to time, and that will determine your performance and your results. So that's one thing you can control right now is your state. Now that might sound a little bit contradictory to what I said about just embracing your feelings. Be okay with your feelings and then shift into focusing upon what's powerful, positive, and more productive, whether it's an affirmation, whether it's taking 10 minutes a day to quiet your mind. And a lot of people in the Western world, they actually say, well, how do I quiet my mind? I can't do that. And I get it. A lot of people, their thoughts are racing. This is a prime opportunity to start to learn how to do that. And I want to just go back to what I said. There's one word that I use that stops people from actually doing anything. It's the word can't.
Ooh,
so when people say, I can't do this, I can't do that, in relation to whether it's to quiet their mind or it's relation to achieving a goal, that word is the biggest obstacle in actually stopping them from creating what is possible. So when I'm dealing with, presentation in terms of what I'm delivering, I use the word can't on stage actually to stop people from getting out of a chair, from stop people from opening their eyes, unlocking their hands. And it's fascinating to see because it shows the power of words. So check in with what you're saying to what you're feeling and make it a game at this time in terms of not beating yourself up. But the power of your words can make such a difference, and they do make such a difference in how you're feeling. And again, I go back to that feeling state to get yourself to feel better so you can be of service to other people as well as yourself.
Yeah. And so what are some of the trigger words? Because I know, I follow your Facebook, and you have every day or every so many days, you actually release a word. And those words are, it's not just about an image on Facebook for social feed. They're actually power behind the methodology of what you're doing. Let's talk a little bit more about that so people can follow those words.
Yeah, sounds good. So first of all, I'll address what I was talking about before. The negative programming words that I talk about are examples of words that can stop you from doing what you want to be doing. And those words are try, can't, and but. Okay. Now, those words are just words that can sometimes, and not all times, because I think all words have a purpose, but try sometimes implies failure. So take it out of your vocabulary, replace it with do it. Oh, I just went dark here, Lisa. I'm not sure.
I still see ya.
Okay, not sure why that. Oh, maybe because of the screen. It just anyhow.
It went to sleep on you.
Yes, that's exactly what it did. And that's why you find everything interesting and you deal with what emerges. Going to sleep was just interesting, and I dealt with what emerges. I clicked on. Now, let me just go into what you asked about, really about the positive words. Years ago, I wrote a book called Life's Magical Meanings, and I took words and I found it fascinating to find what are the deeper meanings of words, because words are only as powerful as what we believe them to be, the meanings. And so you know, and I didn't even know you were going to ask that question, and I don't even have any more books left, but what I'll do is I got a digital copy and I can make it available to anyone. But it's this book, Life's Magical Meanings. And in the book, there's 63 words, and the first word was focus. And when it came to me, the word focus, again, it's a powerful word for me. And at the time, it was fixed, ongoing concentration, unlimited success.
Ooh, yes.
And for me, it was like, oh my goodness, where's this coming from? Well, it's coming from the creative essence within me. That's just me. And, you know, I looked at the word and I'm going, wow, that's real, because whatever you focus upon is what you get. Negative or positive, you're going to be successful in getting that. So it was very positive. So since that time, and I've just been opening up the book, seeing what word to put out to the world. So I can do one right now in regards to what word I land on. Okay, and it's going to be random. So I'm just going to do this. Oh my goodness. And it landed on the word mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't that like, I got goosebumps.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot off a bunch of acronyms that came to me that represent mind. But this one, years ago when I thought, what is mind? And so mind, M-I-N-D, is a massive intelligent navigation device.
Ooh, that is so good.
So massive in the sense that we don't even know the limits of it, because there aren't any, because it's a construct when we say what the mind is. It's massive. It's intelligent because it's always letting us know that we're on course, and whatever we feed into it will actually produce. So when we have a really strong, heartfelt desire, even in these times, if we start to focus upon that, and then we have a powerful belief that supports it, guess what? It starts to go to work for us. So it's intelligent in nature, very much so. And then it's navigation. It's directing us. It's actually at every step, every moment, if we listen to our mind, we become the master of it, or the servant of, you know, hey, just living in a place that maybe is negative. It allows us to redirect.
I have a question for you. Julian,
yes.
Hi, Julian, wants to know, when is the best time to do affirmations?
Well, that's a great question, Julian. I think that one thing you have to realize is that we're always doing affirmations. Throughout the whole day, we're saying, hey, I'm this, I'm that. And at an unconscious level, we're talking to ourselves. That's an affirmation. So realize, first of all, how you talk to yourself all day long is an affirmation, or those are affirmations. Now, if you set some time aside and you do some affirmations in the morning and you structure them at night, those are great times. And the reason being, and through all my research and just doing it in my own life, is that when you get up in the morning and you say some powerful things like, what a glorious day filled with all this passion, promise, and opportunity, or what an amazing day that I'm so thankful for, what an amazing day. All these affirmations start to escalate and start to create some momentum for the day. So an affirmation that I've come up with, in fact, of creating affirmations that were fun for me, are alliterations through affirmation, or I should say affirmations through alliteration. And that's just, you know, words that sound the same. So I'm calm, confident, have a cheerful state of mind. I'm bold, beautiful, and brilliant. Yep. Those are just very simple things that you can get yourself to say to feel good.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the morning, at night, set some time aside to create like a whirlwind of affirmations where you can get your body into it, you can say it to yourself, and you feel good. But throughout the day, when you catch yourself feeling maybe stressed out, or you need to feel uplifted or better, that's where those affirmations come in really handy. Those become triggers so you feel better.
Well, and I'm going to sorry.
Okay, it's cutting out a little bit, Lisa, just fuzzy a bit in terms of the sound.
Is this better?
That's great.
Well, yeah, it's my. You know what? I think this technology, everybody's live and doing things. But what I was going to say was that I just recently bought a book because I was doing Affirmation Journal, right? And gratitude. I'm not. Are you getting this feedback still?
No, I'm not. That sounds better when you're a little closer.
Okay, so when I'm getting these affirmations, and so what I've done is I've bought a gratitude journal by Danielle Delgado. And what is gratitude? And so every day I write down what I'm grateful for in my life. And, you know, every experience and every new opportunity and every new relationship is something that I'm very grateful for. When you're talking about these different words, I think you need an affirmation journal, Wayne. Yeah. And every day in the journal is a word, and then people can write about how they are committing to that particular word or that affirmation that day. That'd be really cool and very powerful.
No, that's a great idea, Lisa. I think that, you know, all these things just create more focus on what's positive, right? And the key to affirmations, and here's the key, a lot of people say, well, affirmations don't work. I've been doing affirmations, they don't work. Well, first of all, the way I just said it, of course they're not going to work if people are very doubtful. It's about no matter what word you say to yourself, the question is, does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel relief or get you into a state of relief? Does it make you feel good? That's the trick. I mean, one of my affirmations, and I say it from stage all the time, and when I say it, I smile. I can't even help. I go, boom, bam, Shazam.
Well, Shazam, I know who Shazam is, but everybody here won't.
Yeah, Shazam is my dog, as well as Shazam is my favorite superhero. And Shazam represents, say a magical word, feel the power. So whatever people are saying to themselves, and I've also heard people say, you know, don't ever swear or don't say the F-bomb. You know, if it makes you feel good, say it. It's just a word.
Yourself, and it's a good thing to do it. So Denise would like to know, what about ways to forgive yourself from limited beliefs?
Oh, great question, Denise, and thanks for that question. So, first of all, I would say, you know, as far as the aspect of what we were talking about before is be okay with where you're at. I mean, when you embrace them and say, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. And, you know, it'd be great to have a specific example. And if that's something that she can email me or shoot me a message, I would like to address it a little bit better. But the aspect of, you know, forgiving yourself for self-limiting beliefs is a downward spiral in terms of, you know, continually being able to focus upon that and you feel bad. So to take a breath, you know, breathe in and be okay with those beliefs. Say, I'm okay with the beliefs. I'm okay with the beliefs that I've been thinking. And here's the and what new belief will allow me to feel even better and accept myself?
Yeah. Well, and then I always think it's great to have the belief. Now you have to act on it as well, right? Mm-hmm. You have to actually move forward with some form of action that complements your belief.
And in Denise's case, you know, the fact that she can actually say, you know, how has this belief served me up until now? Maybe it's given me okay, and so you can give my email, which is why I can give my email. Yes. It's Wayne@waynelee.com. So just Wayne, W-A-Y-N-E, at WAYNELEE.com. And then I can address a little bit better, specifically if I know what that belief is, as well as getting a little bit more information. I would be, it'd be my pleasure to help you with that.
Thank you. And if anybody has any other questions, that's what Wayne and I are here for today. More specifically, Wayne than me, is to talk more about the power of your mind. Let's go back to the word mind because we got interrupted. So M-I-N. Now, what does D stand for?
Device.
Device. Yeah. So let's recap. So M.
M is massive. It's unlimited. Our mind.
Right.
Intelligent, always letting us know that we're on or off course.
And
navigation. So it's really, its purpose is to navigate us in life. Perfect.
All right. So
can I share one other thing, Lisa?
Yeah. Well, you can share whatever you want. The floor is yours, Wayne.
So device sounds pretty mechanical, correct?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And we can look at our mind as a mechanism, a device. The deeper level of the mind, the D represents divine.
Oh.
Or divinity. Yeah. So some people that is source, Some people that's energy, some people that's God, whatever resonates with you, because we all come from different backgrounds. And again, we represent our reality different through the words that we use. Yeah. So divinity to me is just the oneness of life.
Yeah.
And then we're all connected. And it's very ironic that we live in a time right now, as I'm speaking in this moment, where we're separate and yet we're still connected.
I have another. Hello, Katerina. I think it's Katerina. Sorry if I. Katerina would like to know, what are some powerful words for children?
It's Kat. Hey, Kat. Kat's my neighbor and one of our great friends.
Hey, Kat.
So, yeah, I'm going to address Kat's question where is she asking what are the powerful words we're to say to kids? Is that what you're asking, Kat, or?
Waiting for Kat to answer. Well, how about let's just go with, that's what she's asking.
Okay. So first of all, I think that words are one thing in regards to what to say to your kids. And I know our situation, we share our situation like with our own kids, like with Kat and Gord and our kids. And first of all, is to be real about, obviously to teach them. So I think the best things to do with the kids right now is asking them questions. Yeah. And those are the words that bring out what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and it validates them. So an example where, say even my little guy Ledger might be saying something and he'll say, I'm going on this video game, Geometry Dash, and he'll tell me something. And I'll ask him, hey, so tell me more about that. And just that gives him attention. And that attention validates him. Sometimes we're disconnected and we're checked out, they're checked out. So it's, first of all, how do you make that connection so they know that we're listening?
Yeah.
Because they definitely do know.
Absolutely. And the question should always be open-ended. Like, I think that's important for people to understand. So that gives them the opportunity to continue to elaborate on what they're doing.
Yeah. So even when I started the conversation here with you, Lisa, about the questions we're asking ourselves, the question that we're asking our kids that are questions that allow them to express themselves through interaction.
Yeah.
And the other thing too I want to address, like that was a great question from Kat, is, and this is more of a general answer to that, is that
sorry.
Hey, no worries. We're live.
I know.
When kids are having a meltdown, or when we're having a meltdown, is if we fight with them, and I know this can sound, like, well, how else are you supposed to do this? If we fight with them, they'll actually fight back, and it'll grow. So somehow to absorb what they're going through, to validate what they're going through, also not to, let them know that, hey, this is okay, but to accept what they're going through, that this must be tough for you. How are you feeling with this? Because then it gives them a chance to vent that out where you're not just fighting it. Now, obviously, if there's something physical going on and a sibling's in danger, or if you're, if it's physical, there's definitely boundaries that you have to create. Yet hypnosis is about absorbing what the resistance is, dealing with the resistance on any level, whether it's a kid or it's an adult, and having them let their wall down.
Well, and it goes back to, you had recommended that as adults, that we give ourselves permission to have those feelings. Well, we have to do that for our children too. We have to give them permission that it's okay to have those feelings.
Yeah, showing them that you care is the biggest thing, first of all, and being sincere about it. And again, the interaction that we're having with people, whether it's our family or spouse, the kids, or other people, that communication is two-way. And if we can get them to let down their guard, let them to open up, then we have a much more effective communication. And it's the same way with ourselves, our self-talk, in regards to if we're continually holding on to our self-limiting beliefs, we're going to perpetuate that. And we're going to get wound up, we're going to get stressed out. So a lot of times it's to break the pattern. And breaking the pattern could be moving the body, going for a run, doing inside exercise. It can also be a breath. I've seen a lot of people online now sharing great information about breathing techniques. My take on breathing is, as long as you take a deep breath. You change the pattern of what you're thinking about. So a deep breath, a physical movement, as well as take some time to sit in silence, whether through a hypnosis program, put on a meditation. Those are all great recommended things.
Well, a deep breath is a really great tool. I know that when I am, when you're in the moment of passion, of whether it's a conversation that you're having that's maybe heightened a little bit, or something that just plain old pisses you off, taking a deep breath and never, the words of advice of never answer an email mad, that's a great time to actually just take that deep breath and take a step back before you move forward. Great tool.
You know what? A breath is, people take it for granted. So you're absolutely right. I mean, the breathing is important. On stage, I have people, the first thing they do, so I connect and build rapport with them, is take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And I saw you do it. I saw you breathe right there. What we're doing right now, of what we just did, the laughter right now, Lisa, I don't even know if they're watching right now, but I've got a mastermind group, and this is a shout out to these guys like Jason Hewlett, Tim and Jeff and John and Scott. These guys, when I'm on the call with them, no matter how serious things are, I'm thinking about it right now, we get each other to laugh. It's not even intentional. These guys are just downright funny, and they got some great information. But do something that gets you to have a belly laugh every day. And my goodness, it's hard to feel bad after that. I think that's why I'm so drawn to the entertainment of what I do, because laughter is the best medicine. So in these times, don't forget to laugh.
Well, Robert was on and he said energy.
Robert's awesome.
I know, Robert is so awesome. I love Robert. So energy, I mean, he's all about the energy. I mean, you just have to sit with him for 20 minutes and you're energized because he's so energetic. But energy, let's talk a little bit more about the energy around us and energy that we actually deploy for other people. What does that do to our mindset?
So first of all, I'm going to bombard you with another acronym.
Okay. So I love it.
So the word energy, I created into an acronym that has tips within it to create better energy, because before I get to that, I'll say this, is that in my show, and the reason why Robert was saying that, not only is like he's off the charts with his energy, he's always vibrating, he's always there, is that he always says to me, Wayne, energy, because in my show or presentation, I say energy. It's my trigger to get people to clap, to laugh. And how you are in any given moment is your state of energy. And that in and of itself is contagious. It actually has a vibration that will influence others. You don't even have to be in the same room. And we know that. We're drawn to people that are highly charismatic, that are highly energized. It's their energy that they're giving off. And is it charged positively or negatively? And in this day and age, negative will attract negative, positive will attract positive. All you have to do is go on your social feed. And when that happens, what happens is if you're starting to focus on the negative, you'll get more of it. You'll start to attract it. It's part of how the world works. Yep. So getting yourself into a good state meaning joyful, feeling good, feeling relief, feeling happy, will then influence the others. A smile, that influences others. So here's the energy acronym, since it's something that I think will be of value. So E-N-E-R-G-Y. So the first E is, how do you increase your energy? E is exercise. Yeah. So exercise in some way, shape, or form. That could be going for a walk outside. Right now, it could be inside doing Orange Theory. Everybody's got online stuff on right now. Not everybody, yet there's so many people that got online stuff. There's no excuse for that. It could be waking up and doing some power moves. It's to get the body moving. The N is nutrition. In this day and age right now, we have access to all this nutrition, and we also have access to eat so much junk. And I am not a stickler to cut out all the junk. I like a good Haagen-Dazs. I like the junk every once in a while, but make sure it's not controlling you. Make sure that you have some system where you're putting good stuff into your body. So watch out for your nutrition and lots of water. And then the next E is emotional management. Is how you're controlling your emotions, what we're talking about on this call is really important. it's about not fighting them, embracing them, but learning how to redirect them, learning how to get into a better feeling state through the thoughts that you think, how you're moving your body to get into a vibrant emotional state. And then the R, you want to guess?
Nope.
I'll give it to you. It's rest and relaxation.
See, and I would say, results, because that's how my brain works. But
well, these will give you the results.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest and relaxation is critical. You know, some people say, well, you can sleep when you're dead. Well, I'm not on that side of belief. I believe that sleep is such a...
I actually think that.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe, and that's great because we may be differing on it, so that's great to also acknowledge that people have different beliefs, and you got to trust your gut. You've got to believe in yourself. I know for myself, I love my sleep. I love to have a great rest. I also know that I go in spurts where I can be on the road and I can put my mindset on and bam, I'm getting not as much sleep. But then when I get home, I got to recover with that sleep. Sleep is a reset. It actually resets your whole body, recharges yourself. So I believe in rest and relaxation in regards to, a lot of people will say even at this time, like, I can't sleep well, I'm tossing, I'm turning, they're stressed out. So getting a good sleep, even if you don't have a long sleep, but the quality of it is important. Or take little breaks throughout the day.
Yeah. Well, and I know even for myself, when the girls were little, so if you're watching, you wouldn't know. Wayne knows I have twin daughters. They're 14 now. But when they were little, I never realized how impactful hours of sleep is when I went days and weeks without sleep. And then when I would actually get 5-hour stretch of sleep, it was like the whole world had opened up for me. And it was like I was walking into a completely new space. So I can contest to that. And any woman out there who's had twins would understand what I'm talking about.
Anybody on this call right now that has a small baby, ask them how important sleep is. It really is. And so you have to adapt. You have to get it when you can. But get that rest, relaxation where you can. And it's important. Yeah. So the G represents goals. In this time, it's important not to forget about your goals and to write them down and to dream and to put them out there. Because when you focus upon your dreams and what you have in your heart, it makes a difference. That energy starts to percolate. And it's important to dream. It's important to get that out. It's important to look at it in the morning and not forget about it and getting bombarded with negativity. Yeah. Goal setting. And you have to be the one that does it. You have to think, what do I want? What specifically do I want? Why do I want it? It makes me feel good. I'll have all these things. And get excited about it. If people say, my goals are no longer, what goals do I want? Well, obviously they're going to be in that state where the goals aren't really going to do anything for them. So they gotta have hope. They gotta start from there and get excited about it and write those goals down. So I'm a big believer in goals will pull you in the direction that you want to go in spite of the circumstances. Yeah. So people that have vision right now, the people that are setting goals, that are continually looking at those goals, they're the ones that on the other end of this will actually be achieving their goals and importantly, feeling good about that.
Yeah.
So
goals, I think goals are important, but I think also it stands to reason, set realistic goals, because sometimes, you know, I have friends or colleagues that are setting these goals and those goals are great, but there's no milestones in between to achieve those goals. And so, you know, I want to be $1 billion company. I want to make an impact on 1 billion people. That is one of my goals. I want to make an impact on 1 billion people in the world at some point in the world. It's an audacious goal.
Yeah.
So the milestones, you know, I have to be realistic. It's not going to happen overnight. And for you, if you're watching, your goal might not happen overnight. You need to be realistic. But what are the milestones to get you there? And that's important. So you have to have the energy, but then you also have to be realistic about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. You have to have the beliefs to support those goals as well. And that's what I'm all about, is having really powerful, strong beliefs to support those goals no matter what. Because we all go through adversities, we all go through situations, but it's having enough strong tenacity and intensity in those beliefs that'll get you through anything. And that's where, you know, people can ask the question, am I willing to do whatever it takes? And that's a powerful question, because if you're not, it probably won't work out. But if you're willing and you have such passion, that will do it for you. So speaking to that, Lisa, that's a great point, is, you know, have those long-term goals and then have chunk it down to 90 days. And then we're getting into the plan setting. as well as action quotas instead of production quotas. Production would be like, I'm going to get 10 bookings for myself in the events industry. And an action quota would be like, I can make 10 calls a day.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I can do. I can't control that. I'll take the word out can't, but realistically, at the top end of looking at what I can control, it's more of those actions to get me to that point. So do the things that you need to do to get you closer to that goal. But don't stop believing. Don't stop focusing upon what you want at a large level. And a great way to, I think, sums it up is plan for the future and live in the now.
Yeah. And so, Wayne, what's your opinion? I mean, not everything in life, in my life, in your life, in everybody's life, is always a white picket fence with the 2.5 children, the dog, and a fridge full of food. What's some of the, what have you done in your life with the mindset? And I understand that, you practice, your energy and goals and so forth, but how do you control your reaction when you have failure or when you have to pivot or adapt in your life or in your business? What's your process? What does that look like?
Well, I'll give you a specific example, and I think that I will go to an example that happened in my life where it was real, and it's not me talking in generality. It's like a real situation and what I did to get me through there, because I think it may be helpful for anybody to ask these questions. Yeah. So, and then we'll get back to the last part of energy, which is the why. I'll tell you about the why. So first of all, in 2016, I found out that somebody in my company was stealing large amount of money from me, and it was devastating in the sense of how much it was, what position it put me in. First of all, I take full ownership that I was completely oblivious to what was happening. I trusted this person wholeheartedly. Kind of like one of my strong sides as well as the downside is people pleasing and want to do things, want to help out.
Yeah. But
here's the but, is that it cost me because I was oblivious to all this money being stolen. And so at first,
it didn't just cost you financially, it cost you emotionally. I'm aware of what went on, but and I think that's important. People need to understand that not everything is roses, right? And how do you go through that? And your mindset is what saved you.
Yeah, I mean, it really allowed me to go through it because, first of all, I said to myself, life goes on. It's my choice to deal with this and how I deal with it. So I really had to look at it. And there was times for sure, like I was upset, I was frustrated, I was angry, all those emotions that I went through. And as I went through it, I said, but what am I going to do about this? And so that question got me to actually deal with it. So deal with it in a sense of making sure that I took care of the legal actions, that I had to put my financial stuff in order, take care of the business. That was stuff that I was forced to do. And so maybe it came from a bit of conditioning of my mindset has always been about, I'll succeed no matter what. I will succeed no matter what. So having that belief that I was going to deal with it no matter how I felt, I was going to do it. So having that belief, and I think that's a strong belief to adopt, is, I'm going to succeed no matter what. I'm going to get through this no matter what.
Do you think some of that comes back from your wrestling days as well?
Without a doubt. Wrestling shaped me. I can talk a little bit about that in regards to how it shaped me and some of the mindsets I had and what I experienced and really what I learned from wrestling. But that situation, when that hit hard and I was blindsided, not only did I have to dig deep and say, how can I succeed no matter what in this? Because I just didn't see failure as an option. It was like, what did I learn from this? So that was an important question. That's one of the questions that I asked myself, Lisa, is what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? And I learned a whole lot. I learned that I wasn't diligent in my business in certain areas, that I needed to learn a few things about the financial side of things, about taking care of things. And it really got me to look at things in a positive way so I could be more diligent, be more alert, and to take the steps to move forward to condition myself to build that side of the business, as well as surround myself with really powerful people that could help me.
Well, and that those to me, I mean, I've had, had to adapt and pivot in my business as well. And those executional tasks to me are simple. It's getting over the grief of the relationship that I believe is where people will struggle. And how do you move forward, and how do you find a place of gratitude? I mean, how, are you grateful? I know in some of my relationships, I'm extremely grateful for the people that have taught me those valuable lessons. I'm sure you're grateful to her or him as well, because now you've learned value. But how do you get over the grief, Wayne? Like, how do you get over that grief of that and move forward?
I think it's what you just said, Lisa. I think that, everybody has their own way of dealing with grief. For me, that you answered my question actually is, what am I grateful for in this situation? Who am I grateful for? And so immediately it was all the people that came to me to support me, all my inner circle, my family, my friends, my wife, that really came together in a time like this where, like we're going through some struggle, and these people just were there for me in an instant. I was like, oh my goodness, if that didn't happen, that connection of being so supportive, or these people being so supportive. So it got me to focus on what I was really grateful for. And there wasn't time to even think about anything else, because asking that question, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? And it also was, I'm grateful for that I learned this, this awareness of this happening and moving forward with it. And I'm also grateful for that we found what was the challenge, what was the problem. We removed that. Eventually, to touch on that point, Lisa, about, very grateful that she taught me that lesson. The person that did that taught me that lesson, because it really didn't serve me to go, blaming her and complaining. It really, so I didn't have time to wallow in that, if that makes sense. That was my process. And I think that helped me out a tremendous amount, and it got me even more excited, more hungry, and moving forward. It really did.
And more, your business has grown and flourished. I mean, you recently, I think it was last year, you got the award at the NSA, the CSP.
Yeah, like the Hall of Fame. Well, very grateful that, I get to do what I love, and it is my living, and I get to make people laugh as well as help people learn and lead people into creating, the life they want, and helping companies do that and individuals do that. I'm very blessed and very grateful. So gratefulness, I think what we're touching on right now is really important, is to ask the question, is that what am I grateful for right now? Ask that every day and spend some time journaling it. I've studied all these top performers, these peak performers, these people that are super successful but very happy, and gratitude is always a part of the equation. So in a time like this, for people to ask themselves, what am I grateful for right now? And get them to start thinking about that, because in a moment you could be looking at what you don't want, or you could be focusing upon what you have and be so grateful for that and not take it for granted, because we can always get caught in the trap of taking things for granted. I seen a great movie with the family last night on Netflix, or on Plex, one of the channels, which is Onward.
Oh.
And I encourage families to watch it. It's about the magic that we forgot about in life, which is always within. And it really struck a chord with me, because I'm a big believer that life is magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so let's go back to you.
Oh, why? To the why?
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. You. So the energy is you. So what I mean by you is you got to take care of you. There's a bit of an irony here and a contradiction, is that in this time, your energy is something that you control, you take care of. And a lot of times people are pleasing others.
Yeah. So
the why is yes to you. Take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. And it goes back to that question, was like, how do I forgive myself for all these self-limiting beliefs? You accept yourself. You love yourself. And when you do that, you stop looking for approval. approval is one of the most draining things in the world when you're looking for approval. And we're all hardwired, I think, to come to this realization, this understanding that, oh my goodness, we have everything within us. We are so complete. And that's when we can give more of ourselves to others. So take care of yourself and then take care of others, because serving others is also what we're here for. But don't forget about you. So the why is really you and saying yes to you.
Well, and the airlines teach us this every day when we're on a plane. If the plane goes down, who do you take care of first? Not the person beside you. You get your mask on you first so you can help others. Same principle applies here.
Yeah. So that's the why in energy.
Very good. So we were talking offline, and you have some exciting news. You're working on something right now that's about to get launched.
Oh, a book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got so many things. Yeah, the book's called Full Alignment.
Oh, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
So when is it coming out?
It's going to be out by the fall or sooner. Now it'll be sooner. Now, I am so excited about it. It's kind of a collection of 25 years of me doing this, plus all the wrestling that really shaped my life, which I was going to mention, is that it just really created the mindset of determination, discipline, and dedication. Is that how do you focus your mind to such a degree to overcome obstacles, to deal with failure, and also, most importantly, enjoy the journey. Really enjoy the journey, because people are so focused on that destination. But guess what? When you start to enjoy the journey, you get to the destination even quicker and you enjoy it. And that's what life's about, is fulfillment, is feeling good. So the book is about fully aligning yourself, which really means to be able to get yourself to feel good in spite of what's going on, so you can perform better and get better results in your life, and ultimately show others to do the same.
Oh, Julian, I think we answered. Julian, did we answer? You wanted to know what is the why. We just talked about that. So
yeah, to you.
All right. So if people want to get a hold of you, they can get a hold of you at waynelee.com.
Yeah.
You do live hypnosis virtually. Is that possible even?
It sure is. Yeah. And my good friend Jeff Sabilico, he did a juggling tutorial. It was amazing. It was awesome. Check out his site. He's just such an awesome guy. And going through it with him, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at how many people. There was 80 people on it. So I would definitely be into doing an online hypnosis, guided meditation on a Zoom call. I think Zoom, or even on this platform, whatever platform works great, because again, it's new to me. This looks like it's a great platform. And I would be able to do that every week. I'd come up with a new hypnosis program that I take people through. And as I say in the show, everybody gets their clothes back at the end of the show.
Very good.
Well, who am I kidding, Lisa? People will be in their homes. They'll be naked in house coats anyhow. So
they'll be in their pajamas from the bottom down. Anyway.
You don't want to stand up, do you?
I am standing.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting.
But I do have my pajama bottoms on.
Gotcha.
Very good. Well, you heard it here if you're watching. Denise says she's in on your virtual. So you have your first person on your virtual hypnosis program. So you heard it first.
Thanks, Denise. And also keep me accountable. I'll just put it together over the next week here. Let me get it all together and I will get it out there. And if you can help me share it so we can get more people on there, that would be awesome. And there's a couple things that I'll do. I can do the color association, which is something I've been doing for years, taking people through how to feel better in the moment and also achieve their goals, as well as I can take people through a guided hypnosis program that they can use over and over.
Julia says, great energy.
Awesome.
Oh, we got another one. I'm all about accountability. Julia says, thanks for the great live. So, well, you guys heard it here. Wayne is taking his show, Hypnosis on the Road, virtually. So how exciting. Thank you so much, Wayne. I appreciate you and appreciate your business, and I appreciate everything that you stand for.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you very much for putting this on and getting it out there right back to you. And thank you for everyone that took part of this, that listened. Hopefully you got some value. You could share it with others. And let's stay connected even though we're apart.
Absolutely.